I just want to know where to find $3 million. Anyone has $3 million?
We have a loan department at work.
Okay.
I can hook you up. Yeah.
Hi guys, we're here with Mr. Sam Hines, chairman of watches at Sotheby's. We're here today because we have 3 very special Patek chronographs from the 20th century, which are for sale.
So November 10th in Geneva, and yes, so we want to show some highlights to you. We have, like you said, 3 chronographs, 3 unique Patek Philippe watches.
We'll start with the first one, the simplest design, which is the reference 130.
Yep. So 130 single button. There was about 30 pieces made in the 1930s. This is 1937, and typically with a single button you would see a sector dial. Almost all of the single buttons known have sector dials, so this is unique in that no sector but hand-cut Breguet numbers.
Yeah.
And also the registers are very small,
Right.
you know, quite far apart, which is different to what you'd see on a regular 130.
Yeah.
And that's because for the single button caliber, they used a Victor Patek caliber, and it's slightly different from the the other calibers they were using for chronographs at that period. So
this one, it's at the earlier stages of chronograph development, so it's rather simple to try to hide the fact that it's a chronograph almost.
absolutely, yes. And the actual chronograph scales
Yeah.
are slightly different. You see, you don't have base 1000 up here,
Right.
And you also have fifth of a second counters as well.
But what's crazy is that this is a champagne dial as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually they're just white.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, the watch has been polished. As you can see, the hallmark
Yeah.
kind of still there,
Yeah.
and the lugs are sort of quite thin.
Yeah.
The dial also has been cleaned.
Yeah.
The Zapon layer has been reapplied.
Yeah.
But the watch is almost 100 years old, and I think it's great. I mean, it's very subtle. Yeah, I mean,
design is
you
super.
have to really know vintage Patek when you see this to know what it is. So.
And the second one is kind of a revolution of the 130,
1436. Yep. So primarily made in gold, then fewer in pink gold, and I think there are 4 or 5 pieces in stainless steel.
Right.
Same case as a 130, but you've got a double chronograph.
Right.
And I can't quite recall, but I think the retail price when this was made, it was like double the price of a 130. So
Wow.
It was a very expensive watch for Patek. The 1436 was made, I think, up for maybe 40, 50 years. This example has hard enamel Breguet indexes, oversized registers, but if you look at, we won't be able to do it now, but looking at the back of the dial, there are no numbers at all. Usually, Patek, when they order dials, they're numbered with the job number and what type of dial it is.
Yeah.
First of all, you think, why is it not numbered? It should have a number.
Yeah.
The more you think about it, well, if it's a unique dial, maybe it's a one-off, and maybe for one-off dials, Patek, you don't number something that's one-off, right? And like you pointed out to me earlier, this is made at the beginning of the 1436 production when it was introduced, and then it came from a very important Italian collector.
Cool.
And I think it has so much character. Some people don't like the dial that it's tarnished and aged like it is. I mean, the case is still quite well preserved. You've still got very visible hallmarks, and the lugs are nice and long. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's an incredibly charismatic vintage Patek.
And this one is also very cool because a lot of the split seconds you see, usually the split button is in the crown, but this one is like a mono pusher.
Yes, yes.
Sort of thing.
So the 1436 you can find like this or with the coaxial.
I like the earlier one. It's clean, it's more elegant.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then we have the third one, arguably one of the best watches this season throughout all auction houses.
A few people have said that.
But honestly, that's, for me at least, the 1563 split seconds. And that's a dream watch of everyone. One is in the Patek Museum, belonged to Duke Ellington, and another one belonged to important collector Jean-Claude Bivet. And there's this one.
So this sold at auction in 2012, 2013. Then it made 1.4 million Swiss francs.
Yeah.
But of the 3 pieces known, I think this is the best looking.
Yeah, for sure.
To have hard enamel Breguet indexes, are made as an outline to be filled with luminous material. The lume on here was once radium and it is now tritium, so it has been taken off and reapplied.
By Patek?
I assume so, yes, because on the back of the dial you do have the numbers, but then you have restoration reference numbers as well.
Okay.
They probably did it because radioactive material is harmful apparently. But the thing I love about this is that I've seen and sold many 1463s in gold and steel, whatever.
Which has a similar, almost the same case with this one.
Yes, but as you'll note, the case back of this is very high.
Very high.
Which is kind of cool. And it's high like that so that it can fit the split second mechanism, because on top of the movement you have another cam on top for the splits.
Why is this one so desirable by collectors?
Bigger case, thicker case, has a lot more presence on the wrist, where some collectors don't like these because they're smaller, thinner, but this you've got the screw case back, it has the sort of higher bezel, the pushers, just everything about it. It's more robust because it was made later. But
to anyone else, this looks like a regular Patek chronograph. And even for some watch people, if you don't let them know, they're like, cool 1463.
Right, exactly, yes.
I just have layers of coolness that's you need to unpeel, you need to show to people.
I mean, if this makes $3 million, I wouldn't be surprised.